What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, OG Nonboy, back with another video. And in today's video, I have a team that I copied from an opponent of mine, which consists of MAMOSWINE in the lead with Dragon Breath Gyarados and the Metagross in the back. And the MAMOSWINE isn't too common of a pick in this meta, and understandably so, since it loses to Dragonite in the one shield, just the Dragonite going straight Dragon Claw, and it also loses to Haxorus. So it's kind of ironic that an ice type is like losing to dragons, but aside from that, I think the Mamoswine has a lot of like good play otherwise, like against the Excadrill, Togekiss, and Sylveon, and just in general, it can force shield since it hits pretty hard. And you have the Dragon Breath Gyarados on the safe switch, which is just a good overall safe switch in this meta. And you have the Metagross in the back, which is a very powerful sweeper, since if you're able to get some sort of shield or energy advantage, it can really flip a lot of matchups that it otherwise wouldn't win and sweep entire games. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into these matches. First match, we have the Mamoswine into the Dragonite, and as you're going to see here, the Dragon Breaths do just about as much as our Powder Snows, and they're also going to be able to beat us to our Avalanches, but the opponent is holding on to their energy just a little bit here because like they're going to farm out to the superpower to threaten a shield of mine. And then they swap into the Snorlax. I'm okay with this since like the Gyarados doesn't win against the Snorlax that easily, and with me being able to chip this, I'm going to be able to win this matchup and then hopefully align my Gyarados against the Dragonite after. So I throw the Aqua Tail because I want to have a move ready to throw at whatever comes in next. So I'm just going to throw the Aqua Tail so I can do a little less damage and farm the Snorlax down a little extra. So honestly, don't know if that was super necessary, but that's kind of what I was thinking at the time. And then they bring the Dragonite back in, which we throw the Crunch at, and they let this go. And now they bring in their Metagross, and I swapped so slow here, so I'm behind two Bullet Punches. So they're like one past the Earthquake here, and I shield it correctly. And at this point, I'm thinking, since I'm behind on energy, my best shot of winning is to have them shield this, and then I can beat them to the next Earthquake. But the opponent calls the bait, so this puts me in a pretty tricky position since I'm only going to be able to get this off, and I'm going to be kind of in a rough position since I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach the Avalanche on my Mamoswine in time. But thankfully, we're going to be able to get to this Avalanche, and that's enough to win us the game. So GG's to the opponent there. Next match, we have the Mamoswine into a Florges, and like you don't necessarily win this matchup in the lead, but I'm okay with soft losing it because we have a Metagross, and it's like I said at the beginning, a Metagross with energy advantage can really put in a lot of work. So I'm okay with soft losing this matchup if it comes down to that. But the opponent throws here, and then they decide to dip out into the Snorlax, and this is also kind of okay with me because like the chip damage on the Snorlax is pretty useful, but here I'm like playing a little bit stupid because I stay in for no reason. I can farm up extra energy because I thought for some reason that I could get to the Avalanche, but like I definitely wasn't going to be able to, and I realized that a little late. So I'm late to the swap. I gave the Snorlax extra farm, and now we're in a like worse spot than we could have been in if we just actually played well. And they bring in the Florges to take out our Gyarados. And now I'm thinking we might be okay still since it just depends on what's in the back. But they have a Dragonite, and then I try to swap into my Mamoswine to get to the Avalanche against the Dragonite, but that turns out to be a mistake because I can't actually get there, and they just farm me down and get extra energy. And I shield a Dragon Claw, so like basically everything that could go wrong is going wrong in this match. and I'm gonna have to get to 2 moves here, which is gonna be kind of a tall task. And then I shield this move too, which ends up being a Dragon Claw, and then they hit me with the superpower. But even if I had no shielded that, like between the Dragon Breath damage and like tanking a Dragon Claw, I still probably would have not been able to win that. So this overall very poor play from me. Just not knowing the matchups too well and like not knowing how to use the Mamoswine. But in this match we have the mirror match in the lead, and I catch the avalanche on my Metagross, so they respond with their own Metagross and I'm able to get to this earthquake. This is a CMP tie, but lucky for me I win it. And since like I already got a shield and I also tanked energy on this Metagross, I feel like I got enough use out of it and I'm willing to just let it go because I know my Gyarados has a good matchup against this Metagross. So I bring the Gyarados in. I'm going to get to this crunch, and they don't shield this, so I'm going to be able to farm down, but I have to tank a move first. And now I should be in a pretty solid position since I have a lot of energy on my Mamoswine, and I also have a little bit of energy on my Gyarados as well as a shield advantage. So the Mamoswine comes back in. This Aqua Tail is definitely going to hurt if they let it through, and they let it through, so they reach an avalanche here, and I definitely have to let this go since even if I shield and preserve the Gyarados, like it's not going to be able to do much against Pokemon in the back anyways. And now I have my like 2 shielded Mamoswine with an energy lead to take out this Gyarados, and it should be pretty straightforward at this point. So kind of interesting mirror match, like interesting decision by the opponent to bring their Metagross into my Metagross as well, because they had the hard counter in the Gyarados that they could have brought in, but I don't know what their plan was necessarily, like, but yeah, it worked out for us. So no complaints there. Next match we have the Mamoswine into the Excadrill, and even though Excadrill here outpaces you to the moves, you're able to tank one move whereas they're not able to, so that's why you win the like even shield scenarios going just straight avalanche. You never really want to go for the bulldoze because it's not worth it. Like as you can see, the powder snow damage is doing a whole lot, and at this range, like they're already at avalanche range, so there's no need to go for the bulldoze. And now we're just going to like keep getting to our avalanches and throw them at this Excadrill, and they're gonna throw their last drill run, but we're gonna shield this up and then we're gonna get to our avalanche and take it out. So I mean, no reason in not doing this, to be honest, because usually what's in the back is like double flyers, so either a Gyarados and a Dragonite or a Gyarados and a Togekiss, so you want the alignment. Because also, even if you like let it go and you were up a shield, your Gyarados is going to have a hard time taking out the Excadrill anyways, and you're going to have to use your shield against the Rock Slide if you want to keep health on it. So yeah, GG's to the opponent there. And then this is like the dream lead, basically. Like it's the only dragon that this thing really beats. And then they swap in the Metagross, so it's just hard counter city for the opponent right now. They're just getting hardballed here. But since I was a little slow on the swap, as you're going to see, I'm not going to be able to take out this Metagross before I have to invest a shield, which is pretty rough. Like this just goes to show how strong Metagross is. Like even though this is a quote-unquote losing matchup for it and we have a super effective move against it, it's still able to like basically take us out if we don't invest a shield there. And I didn't know that I wasn't gonna be able to make the Aqua Tail at the time, so I accidentally hit it and then I go for a no bubble so that I can try to recoup some of that energy that I lost. And now they bring in the Togekiss, so this is okay for us, but we also have to be a little bit careful here since we are down a shield. And the opponent allows us to farm up some energy here before leaving the matchup, which is really good for us because now we're just going to be able to threaten their shield. And this puts our Mamoswine in a more favorable position to have playing this matchup. You do beat the Garchomp to the Earth Power and the Outrage. So this is definitely going to threaten the last shield. And at this point, I'm okay with letting my Mamoswine go though, because the Togekiss did farm up a little bit. So in the event that I shield this and like take out the Garchomp, then they might be able to get extra farm on me. But maybe I would have powder snowed it down anyways before they would have gotten to another move. But you know, there's just a lot of ways to play this endgame. Like we were in a pretty favorable position, so I just leave the shield for my Metagross and we're able to take the game. So yeah, that's all the battles in this video. Definitely a pretty good team, as you can see. And yeah, I really enjoyed using the Mamoswine. Not a super popular pick, but I think it's kind of fun. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And also you can submit your battles in the link in the description below. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.